Hi, my name is Alex Mandrica. Today I want to talk to you about Assassin's Creed combat system and show you how bad game design can sometimes be good. Assassin's Creed was to revolutionize action-adventure games, to let you do things you can never do before in places so complex and alive no one had ever seen in a video game. Of course, the control scheme had to handle that, but in the end, holding the trigger and pressing A was all you needed. It was very elegant, but it felt weird that the challenge would be completely taken off out of free running. With combat, the creative director's vision was a choreographed ballet with impressive kill animations. It also ended up with trigger and A being the main controls. Hold trigger to block, and press A as your enemies attack to trigger a crazy animation with instant kill. But if you miss your timing, you will still block and be safe. So we ended up with a system that's hard to learn but easy to master, the opposite of what game designers want. So of course, the lead system designer and myself wanted to improve combat, make it deeper and more involved, more to our taste. But the game aimed at providing a power fantasy to the widest audience possible, so we were told to stick with the simplistic design. We weren't happy at the time, but looking back at the success of the brand, I must admit that even if it looked like bad design, it was the right decision. The moral of this story is that design is a means to an end. The most cutting-edge design can be detrimental to a product, and you only push your efforts as needed to deliver on the vision. The core experience of Resident Evil is a playable horror movie. Even though the controls and the camera angles were almost unplayable, it really created that feeling of weakness that supports the game intention. A game like Steel Battalion puts you in charge of a giant robot. And they went to a credible extent to create cumbersome controls, even including a custom panel with tons of buttons, joysticks and pedal. Yes, the controls of Quake are more efficient, but they would definitely not create the right experience. It is the same with difficulty. A game being too hard or too easy should always be discussed compared to the target market, and not the designers working on it. Dark Souls is so punishing that it drives many players away, but it's also viewed as the holy grail for some. On the other hand, Farmville was despised by designers for being too easy or maybe not even a game, but people forget that it was built by designers with experience on Command & Conquer and even the venerable Alpha Centauri. These guys knew what hardcore games were, but they used their technique for a specific goal. I hope that shows that true maturity is to put your craft at the service of creative intention. So you have to make the distinction between working on a game because you want to play it or developing your skill to become a better game designer. If you're interested in more details, here's a link to an article I wrote on game design and creative direction. That's it for today. If you enjoyed that video, please subscribe and I'll see you next time.